Welcome to another Mr. Short Game podcast. This is always an audience participation platform. I need your comments. I need your engagement here so that we can better understand and communicate with what's going on. So it's not one way. It's not one-way street here. It's two ways. I read nearly every comment, unless there's like 1,000. And then I try to read all those as well. So thanks so much for being a part of the show here and the podcast. Make sure that if you're not already subscribed to the channel here, this channel, the podcast channel, hit that subscribe button so we could stay engaged together and grow together as we discuss crazy things going on in the world of golf. We had an awesome Anthony Kim revival that we covered, and I'm just re-engaging with East Coast time. I was living on Saudi Arabia time the last 3 days. Woo! No, I'm not going to live on Hong Kong time later this week. I don't think I can do that. I can't live in East Coast time, cover Saudi time, and live in Saudi time, and then live in Hong Kong time while I currently live in the East Coast of the USA. It's just too crazy. My family can only handle so much. Anyways, it was a good time, but I don't know. If you spur me along enough, I might just do it. But I'm not just going to be an Anthony Kim channel. That was his return. So we'll cover live as best we can because I do think it's an exciting platform. Now, today we're talking about Rory McIlroy. And a lot of people have been talking about his potential leaving the PGA Tour and going to live. And I do believe he is leaving the PGA Tour. Is he going to live? Now, $900 and $950 million is a difficult thing to turn down. But in all honesty, I don't believe he would go to live. I do believe, though, he is going to leave the PGA Tour. But the reason I don't think he's going to go to live is, although that's a lot of money to turn down, and I don't know how you do that. That's a lot. And I don't think there's any political reasons or social reasons why he wouldn't go to live. I think he wanted there to be one tour, one world tour, and he was for that. And the fact that live came and they did what they did initially, Rory made a lot of comments, anti-live comments, which he since kind of, rewinded and given other responses that made it seem like, he was a little more open to the idea. And that's why a lot of people are saying that he would potentially go to live. And I do believe live has offered him a huge amount of money, but I don't think he's going to go. And here's why. I believe Rory, he wants to be the top dog on the tour, whether it's PGA or live. And he wouldn't go to live and be the top dog, though. He might be the top player, but now that they have Rahm and Cam Smith and Joaquin Niemann's playing better than anybody in the world right now, so I'm glad he's in the Masters. But I don't necessarily think Rory would go there and be numero uno. He wouldn't be the captain of the ship. I think that would be Jon Rahm, really, and Dustin Johnson and Joaquin Niemann and Cam Smith. There's a lot of other guys that I think would steal the spotlight more so than Rory. And on the PGA Tour side, you would think that Rory is the top dog, but he's not. The top dog is still Tiger Woods. And you think about this. Over the years, the PGA Tour has never, ever, ever let a competing tour or anything of that nature come around. They've squashed everything except the TGL. That's Tiger's league, Tiger Golf League, the Golf League, whatever you want to call it, the TGL, that league where Tiger's going to have this indoor studio and you hit shots to a screen, giant screen. Remember that. It was supposed to launch this year and it imploded and collapsed and mysteriously collapsed, ironically at a convenient time. And yeah, a lot of conspiracy theories around that, but nonetheless, it's still potentially coming back around. So why would the PGA Tour let Tiger start a league? That could potentially be a threat to the PGA Tour, right? It could ultimately, what if it got more views on those that TGL league than Sunday PGA Tour event. See, then all of a sudden it could grow and blossom into a competing league to be more popular than the PGA Tour, especially since a lot of PGA Tour guys are bouncing out to live and have done that. So the PGA Tour has allowed Tiger to do this when they've never let anybody do anything. Like, to even play like in some charity events, you have to get permission from the PGA Tour to make sure that like these events don't conflict with your obligations to the tour and the tour schedule. It's since relaxed a little bit with the emergence of Live Golf, but either way, they still have been very, very tough on anything that would potentially compete with them. So they've let Tiger do this, and Rory currently is a part of that. The problem is, Rory, in my opinion, wants to be the top dog. He wants to be the alpha. He wants to have his own thing. Everybody does, right? Tiger has his own thing. Live Golf, these guys that go over there, they all get their own thing. They all get their own team. So Live could offer Rory his own team, but then it would kind of be like Rory is accepting defeat and saying, all right, fine. Yeah, you get a ton of money going over there, but you're kind of accepting defeat, going over to, let's say, the enemy in many people's eyes, cashing in, and your so-called legacy is tainted by the, let's say, older golf establishment, not older people, but that just old golf mindset, that mentality that, hey, this is the establishment, and if you go over there, you're forever tainted on this side and legacy. And so I don't think Rory's going to say, I accept that and I'm going to live with that. But I do think he's going to do this, which would kind of accomplish all his goals of being the alpha, being number one, or having his own thing and keeping his legacy. And that would be this. I believe Rory's leaving the PGA Tour and is going to take up full-time residency on the DP World Tour, and help the DP World Tour be exactly what it says, a world tour. And him going over there wouldn't necessarily be anti-anything. How can you beat the guy up for going back to, let's say, his roots, his heritage, his homeland, and taking residency and being the guy on the DP World Tour? Sources have told me that this is something that is being seriously considered by Camp Rory McIlroy. And it's sounding more and more like a legitimate, idea, possibility, that it's really going to be something that he seriously considers. And we might see Rory full-time DP World Tour. And then it's kind of that would be the Rory Tour. And then the PGA Tour would be left going, okay, in search of the new up and rising person. Because let's face it, Liv has stolen the characters, the personalities, let's say. And the PGA Tour, although these personalities birthed on the PGA Tour, they're now gone. Rahm, DJ, Mickelson, Cam Smith, not really, but they're getting personalities over there. Anthony Kim, he's a personality. He had a aura, a mystique about him. The only person on the PGA Tour right now with that is Tiger, but he's not playing that much. So we don't get to see him very often. So who's the personality? Ricky Fowler? Yeah. But again, he's not always up there. But he's the one with the charisma and the personality that we're looking for. But it's not happening week in and week out. So Rory, I think, is not going to be the flag bearer, carry the torch for the PGA Tour anymore. He's going to bounce and go over to the DP World Tour full time. That's what we're thinking here. That's what I'm thinking. What are your thoughts? Comment below. Is that a viable option? Or is he going to just stay the way it is? And he's going to kind of be currently where he is, which is he's not winning that much. He's just kind of there and not much is happening. Let me know your thoughts. It's exciting times, uncertain times is what I would say. But when things happen, it's exciting. Could be bad exciting, could be good exciting. Exciting is exciting. Thanks for being a part of the show. We'll see you soon.